Hey guys, Dave here. Welcome to episode 2 of The Last of Us discussion. Now, there's quite a few cool things to break down in this episode. I think it was all done very well, and we'll jump right into it. Alright, so we open up in Indonesia, where some of the infection had started, and I believe it was brought up in the last episode, because I did watch some videos, and some people were talking about how, flowers developed there, and how some of it spread, and actually in this episode, they actually went into that. So it is good that they did not eat the pancakes in the first episode, otherwise they might have been infected as well. So that was kind of a cool thing. Also, part of that scene, there's a really creepy autopsy that I really enjoyed. They could have maybe gone a little bit faster with some of the scenes, but it was well done and I enjoyed it. And since there is no cure for anything, at the end of that scene, basically they said, just bomb everything. There is no cure. There is nothing. Bomb as much as you can and save as much as you can, basically. That's all you really can do. Now, another thing that I noticed that some people were complaining about in their reviews, as I watched them all after mine, they said that some of the time spent on Ellie's infection and how they reacted to it was kind of rushed, and I do have to agree, at the end of the first episode it was, but in this episode they definitely go more into it, and a good, I think, about 15 minutes is spent in the beginning of the episode, maybe 10, on just talking about it, their insecurities about it, their feelings, thoughts, all that stuff. So I enjoyed and respect that they went into it a little bit more, because it's deserved. I mean, you would be freaked out if you found out one of your group was infected. Now, we get a lot of cool bonding between Tess and Ellie. I really like that she teaches her some of the ropes of this world in the short amount of time that we get. I think that Ellie really listens and looks up to Tess. She's the only one that really gives Ellie any comfort or affection, the slightest amounts of affection and comfort, but you do get those from Tess, and I do like that they bonded. It was really well done. I also have to say that the jokes between all of the characters are really good. Anytime that they do crack a joke, it definitely landed for me. The sarcastic nature of these characters is really well done. They really know how to nail that. I don't want to spoil anything about that, but it made me laugh, and so I thought I should include that. Oh, okay, and now onto the sets. The sets in this show are just incredible. You really do feel the money. They put millions and millions of dollars into these episodes, and you really feel it, from the infected themselves to just the set design. All the branching fungus up the sides of walls is very good looking. It's incredible, to the point where it's one of those shows where you feel like, how the hell did they do this? You know, how do you take a normal street and turn it into this with the rubble? And they really paid attention, and I love it. It was great. Now, another little piece of visual storytelling. Joel messed his hand up pretty bad in the last episode. Now, there's nothing really in this episode that he gets affected by from it, as far as I could tell, but you do see him stretching his hand and stuff, so I do like that they're paying attention to the small details. I do think it would be kind of cool, because you do use ladders and stuff in this game. It would be interesting if he went up a ladder and then because of his hand he slipped down it or something. It doesn't have to be super dramatic or anything, but the more human you make your characters, the more relatable they are, and I really appreciate the small details like that. So maybe we'll get something in the next episode. We'll just have to see. Back to Tess talking to Ellie. I do like the times where she breaks down that they're not good people, and she definitely feels about that. She wants redemption. You know, I'm sure Joel does too. The life that they live, they're haunted by it. I can only imagine what they did in the beginning. You know, if they're doing the things that they are now. It is the most brutal world, and she wants some kind of salvation, which I believe she finds eventually. I also really like the infected are connected scene, where if you step on one of these fungus lines, it basically is a dinner bell to the rest of them. I think that's really cool, and for anybody who hasn't played the game, I think that's a really interesting line of dialogue to throw to anybody who hasn't been introduced to this world. It's very engaging. I liked it a lot. It was good. Another thing that I really loved about this episode that is a huge part of the game is stealth. There's a whole beginning section before we're introduced to the clickers, which are fucking fantastic, by the way. They look beautiful, and they're creepy as hell. They move almost exactly the same as the game. They're truly terrifying. TV movie monster creatures. They're horrific. Well, I guess they're video game creature originally. And with the stealth, I feel like they did it really well. Joel, without saying anything, explains to Ellie that they can't see, but they can hear, and they can hear fucking damn well, too. Super good. So if they catch on to you, you're basically screwed, which isn't very much outside of the games. In the games, they're very hard to take down. They're very, very fast. Creepy as hell. I think all of that was really covered well in this episode. And it should be, because they're the biggest threat that you have out there, outside of the bloaters and shit like that, which you don't really run into that often. But if you did, you're basically dead. Alright, so on to spoilers. So this is where we lose Tess. This wraps up her storyline, and I think they wrapped it up really well. It was heartfelt. It was scary. Like, you could see the terror in her eyes as she knew she was trapped. The reveal that she was infected was really well done. Actually, I had forgotten that she was infected. I haven't played the games in like a month or two, so I kind of forgot that was a thing, because this story's so dense that there's all these little things you forget, and that was a big one. So it was almost like I was watching again for the first time, which is always a nice thing, especially with a great story like this. And yeah, she takes herself out. I believe that was her redemption, salvation through flames, the metaphors there and all that, and it was sad. I wonder if we'll see Joel cry or any more emotion from him after that. I assume we will. That was his love in the end times. Although they had a very interesting relationship, it was hard to watch. All in all, guys, I think that they wrapped up this part of the story really well in one episode. As long as they don't fall below like the hour threshold mark, I think that we can get everything into every episode. Because just based off the first two, I really liked how they were sectioned. It feels natural, and it feels like the right amount of time to cover the game without it feeling rushed. Outside of the end of the first episode, which I heard a lot of people complain, it was a bit rushed, but they did take the time in the second episode. And if they can continue to do that and just keep it all feeling natural and well balanced, then I think this might be one of the best series we ever see. Not even video game adaptation, just in general. It's really that good. I've enjoyed every second of it, I have to admit. But thank you guys for watching. That was episode 2. I'll catch you next time. I hope you have a great day. Bye-bye.